temporarily friendlier, and the color red causes us to perform more poorly on tests. I'll show that drawing close dots on a Cartesian graph makes us feel more emotionally connected to a place, and that resumes clipped onto heavy clipboards make a better, more professional impression. And I'll demonstrate why clean smells, like that of Windex, promote moral behavior, although showering before a test is more likely to lead to cheating. In case these statements sound impossible, I have to tell you that these findings have been proven repeatedly in lab experiments and published in some of the best peer-reviewed academic journals in the world. These astonishing facts actually point to a new way of understanding how our minds work, and Sensation presents these studies for you, the general reader, for the first time. This book is about the way our sensations influence us. Unseen cues that surround us may cause us to lose sleep, fail a test, and even fall in love. In the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, The Princess and the Pea, only a princess is sensitive enough to feel a pea placed underneath 20 feather beds and 20 mattresses. But, in fact, we are all extraordinarily sensitive to the stimuli in our environment. Like the princess, we may not always know what disturbs us under our radar, but we are nonetheless affected. Many of the effects of these triggers are short-lived. They glow ephemerally in the subconscious for a little while, but don't change us permanently. Yet what is brief is not necessarily unimportant. Our actions under these triggers' influence can make a significant difference in our effectiveness in business meetings, classrooms, and sports. They can affect how we feel on first dates and how we're perceived in an interview for a job. This book will raise your awareness of these triggers, or Ps, and their effects, on both your own and others' thoughts and actions. My research into effects of their environment on people began, basically, when I was 18 years old and a soldier in the Israel Defense Forces, where I was stationed in a classified bunker several stories below ground. I was in my first year of university studying psychology and would work 48-hour shifts at the base so I could leave to attend class, where I would sit through lectures about the human mind under extreme conditions. With a slight sense of irony, I would then return to a metal cave to work without sleep for another 2 days straight. My life was basically an experiment. At the base, we lived and worked under relentless fluorescent lights, breathing the same recycled air over and over. We napped in small, pitch-black rooms, where, during most of my time underground, I lost track of day and night. Immersed in psychology at the university when I was above ground, I couldn't help but study every facial expression and odd behavior of my fellow soldiers whenever I returned to the bunker. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was already fascinated by the way our environments shape and influence us. The world became a lab to me. I received my degree in clinical psychology and followed it with postdoctoral studies at Harvard. As a professor of psychology, I studied how stereotypes, personality characteristics, and culture influence our behavior, specializing in the psychology of gender identity in both children and adults. I designed interesting experiments that were published in prestigious journals, and I truly loved what I did. Then, in 2008, I read a study by Lawrence Williams and John Bargh in Science, which found that subjects who held warm cups of coffee were more likely to perceive someone else as emotionally warm. The results of this study, and others like it, seemed almost like science fiction in their revelation of subtle but profound influences on our thoughts, perceptions, and judgments. They moved me in a way that no studies ever had before. Reading them reminded me of how, as a senior in high school, I had been thrilled to discover the power of the unconscious to influence our minds and bodies after reading a book about psychoanalysis. The stories of patients who had suffered from physical symptoms such as paralysis or vision disturbances, but were cured by talking techniques, by becoming aware of unconscious drives that caused their symptoms, had inspired me to become a psychologist.